Welcome everyone, my name is Alex. Welcome in this new market outlook. Today we're going to see what the following week is going to bring us. We're going to look at the DXY, at the AUD, and of course for currency pairs, Euro USD, Euro AUD, GBP USD and GBP AUD. So let's dive right into the markets. If we start with the DXY, what can we see clearly is, again, we're on the 4-hour time frame at the moment. I'm just looking 2 seconds on the 4-hour and then I'm going to the daily. Well, here we can see that we retrace back in towards this supply zone, in towards these premium prices. So we could say we're now ready to drop down lower. But if we go over to the daily time frame, what do we see? Well, here we want still to make that retracement back in towards these premium prices. So where was I looking at? Well, I was expecting from this supply zone a little retracement, so a little reaction, and then again push up higher from this demand zone. But actually now the market is doing not what I expected, and DXY is pushing down lower. And that's that's not what I expected, but we could see that we swipe all of this liquidity and just drop down lower. Okay, we could skip the daily premium prices. That's also possible. So if we go over to the first USD pair, Euro USD, what do we see here? On the daily time frame, we're bullish. Okay, guys, we have this bearish order flow here. Okay, and now we expect more downside, okay, towards this discount price, towards this liquidity, this demand zone here. So if we then go over to the 4-hour time frame, here what do we see? Well, here we see a supply zone, and here is liquidity, and here is also a lot of liquidity, and we just grabbed all of this liquidity. So what could we do right now? Well, we could actually look for shorts. Actually, I'm interested in shorts. Look, we could place our entry, I'll show you in a second. So our stop loss short above this high, okay? Your target will be a 1 to 3 risk to reward, and then you go over to the lower time frame, and now we will wait for a fractal break to the downside. Okay, now we can see that we grabbed all of this liquidity here, this high, this trend line, high. Okay, so this is trend line liquidity, and so we grabbed it all, so we could start selling off from this supply zone. And when will I start selling off, or when will I short? I mean, well, here I will short if I see on the lower time frame, or the 1-hour, or the 50-minute, a fractal break to the downside, and I will target these liquidity lows, and I will target also a 1 to 3 risk to reward. Okay, guys, so if if we see this fractal break, I will short. And I forgot to say, but we're bearish on a 4-hour time frame. We have bearish market, we have bearish order flow, sorry, but we didn't retrace back in towards this 50% prices yet. If we draw down our 50% tool, but I think this order flow is too strong and we could just start selling off again. Okay, guys, so if we then go over to GBP USD, on GBP USD, what do we see here? I will start with the daily time frame. It's more easy. We have still this bearish order flow right here, guys. We still need to make that retracement in towards this discount prices, okay, with a demand zone right here, demand zone here, that's pushing price up higher. And we just grabbed here this swing high, so I thought we could start sell off. We were starting to get some movement to the downside, but then I saw this demand zone here, supply zone got broken, this liquidity got grabbed, got grabbed, and now I'm expecting that all of this trendline liquidity will get swiped out. So when will I short? Well, that's when all of this liquidity is swiping out, boom, and then I see enough reaction to the downside, and then it's the moment when I will short. But at the moment I'm not expecting this high to go, but just this trendline liquidity to swap it. Okay, we swapped already until here, so I'm just expecting all of this liquidity out and then more shorts. If we then look at the AUD currency, what do we see here? It's a bit of a weird currency because price is doing weird things. Look this move. Okay, but we see this bullish order flow here. We see a lot of liquidity here, trendline liquidity. We see a supply zone here, easy. We target this, we wait for this, and then we go short. These are also the premium prices. We're bearish on the daily, so we want to see these highs go. And now what do we see here? We tapped in towards a demand zone. Okay, we made a good low, we swiped early buyers. Now we have a good low, and now I'm just expecting, yeah, to see a lot of upside on this pair. Okay, if we go over to then the first AUD pair, what can we see here? Well, if we expect upside on AUD, we expect downside on pairs like Euro AUD. So on the daily time frame here, I'll start with the daily. We see we tapped in towards these discount prices, but it's just a tap in towards the demand zone. We get that reaction, and boom, now we are still in supply, and now we could see more downside towards this liquidity, and yeah, maybe towards this demand zone, towards this yearly level also. So I'm expecting this at the moment. Going over to the 4-hour time frame, what can we see here? Bullish market structure. We retrace back in towards the discount prices. Here is a 50% zone. Okay, guys, here. Okay, so yeah, what do we expect here? Well, here we have this supply zone. We tapped in towards one time. What on the lower time frame, you can see that this was a good high. And why is that? Because it swiped liquidity right here. Okay, guys, so this was a good high. Then on the 4-hour time frame, what do we see here? It made an also, yeah, no, it's on the 1 hour still. Yes, it made also a supply zone. So what could we see right now? Well, I want to see yeah, an early seller swipe. So I want to see downside until here or something, and then again swipe this high here, and then wait for fractal break, and then I will be ready to short. Okay, going over to GBP AUD. Here on the daily time frame, again bearish order flow, a lot of liquidity here, a demand zone here, daily market structure, and the discount prices are tapped. So we could say we start buying up higher, but here is still this trendline liquidity, here is still this demand zone, and just like in the pair GBP USD, on the lower time frame there was a lot of liquidity trend line, and we see that it's going to get swiping up before again selling down. So I'm still expecting the same, the bit of the same on this pair, right? But this is also in the bigger picture, because this is on the daily time frame and GBP USD was on the 4-hour time frame, but it's still possible. Only going over to the 4-hour time frame, here we see this high was not, yeah, it was a, let me see on the low, no, it was not a good high, because it's the first step in towards this. Oh no, it was a good high because I drew my demand zone like a, my supply zone like a full, but here we have already the first step, and boom, the second tap, and here again we swipe a liquidity. So here we started selling off, and now market is going to break it. I hope not, but I think so. And here is this monthly open, so we could get a swipe from this and then start selling up towards these liquidity lows, because we're bearish here. We on the 4-hour, this is not our swing high. Our swing high is here above, but it was actually so high, so I drew my 50% Fibonacci retracement from this high towards this low, and then we saw that we retraced it towards this premium prices supply zone with a lot of equal highs here or not, I don't know, but yeah, I will take a look. Yeah, I think it's equal highs. Yeah, let's say it's equal highs, but it's also got swept out. So yeah, I'm just now expecting, because we see that the market is going to push up higher, I'm to swipe this high and then to look for shorts towards these liquidity lows. Okay, guys, hope everything was clear, and yeah, I see you in the next video. If you liked the video, leave a comment, leave a like, and ciao, guys.